If Conquest came a day earlier, would he have been able to defeat the 8 Mark variants? Well, that's what we're going to be figuring out today. Like, share, and subscribe, as well as comment down below on any thoughts you have about this video. Now, getting right into the video, let me just right off the bat say that I believe Conquest does actually have the capabilities of defeating the last 8 remaining Mark variants, and to be completely honest, I don't even think he will struggle that drastically. You see, these last 8 Marks aren't necessarily that powerful. I mean, they are powerful to the extent where they are able to hold their own against our main Mark, but none of them have really been shown to be at the same level of power as our main Mark. In fact, our main Mark quite easily defeated Mohawk Mark, and then he faced off against 2 Mark variants at the same time, and though he was being overwhelmed by them, he was still somewhat able to hold his own against the both of them at the same time, and whenever he got to face off against one of them one-on-one, he was blatantly more powerful than they were. And I know that Sinister Mark stated that he killed his own father, but we don't know if that Nolan was necessarily going all out, or if he was trying to actually kill Sinister Mark. We don't even know if Sinister Mark had any assistance, and more importantly, we don't even know if that Nolan was as powerful as our Nolan. So you can't just assume that Sinister Mark is easily more powerful than his own Omni-Man and easily more powerful than our Omni-Man. And that's meaning I don't really think that's something we should pay attention to that drastically. What I think we need to focus on is the fact that most of the invincible variants have literally been stated and implied to be weaker than our main Mark, and then our main Mark is blatantly shown to be able to defeat the invincible variants by himself. So that does to me imply that he is obviously more powerful than the other Mark variants. Now, if he is more powerful than they were, and then Conquest comes along, faces off against this main Mark, and not only shows that he could easily defeat him, but he toys around with him, literally getting to the point where he begs him for more. Like, he's way more powerful than main Mark, to the point where he's actually able to one punch him and knock him out, literally backhand him and knock him out, as well as just break his leg and break his hand casually. He's stronger, faster, more durable, a better martial artist, and far more experienced than our main Mark, and that showed when he was easily able to defeat him for a good portion of his fight against our main Mark. Now, that to me implies that if Conquest faces off against any of these invincible variants one-on-one, he kills them in like 5 seconds. Not really much of a problem. I think it's going to be like him facing off against Oliver. It's like nothing to him. And if he actually faces off against all of them at the same time, obviously it's going to take a little bit longer for the battle to end, but I still think he's going to be able to kill them, given the fact that he can casually knock Mark, our main Mark, who's more powerful than all the other variants. He can casually knock our main Mark out with a single punch or a single hit, and he can casually break his bones. So I think he's going to be able to do this to all of the different Mark variants who are weaker than our main Mark. He's going to be casually able to break their bones or knock them out, probably even just impale them, because of his strength being far greater than theirs, and they are actually going to struggle to actually make Conquest bleed, or to even drastically hurt Conquest, not only because Conquest is more skilled than they are, but also because Conquest has insane levels of durability, to the point where he's able to tank a variety of different attacks from our main Mark and not be drastically affected by them. Like, it took our main Mark so much energy, so much power, so much work to actually hurt Conquest, and these Mark variants aren't even as powerful as our main Mark, to the point where when they actually fought our main Mark, or when a few of them fought our main Mark, they weren't even able to drastically hurt him. They aren't physically strong enough to hurt our main Mark drastically, which means they are going to struggle, really struggle, to actually hurt Conquest. I think it's going to be something almost impossible for them to actually do, which again means that Conquest has the capabilities of defeating them, given that he is physically strong enough to break their bones, impale them, or knock them out with a single hit, as well as tank a variety of attacks from all of them and not be drastically affected by them. I mean, Conquest fought in the Viltrumite Civil War, and that means he should have fought a variety of different Viltrumites at the same time. All of these Viltrumites should have been more powerful than the different Mark variants, and he was able to fight all of them at the same time and defeat all of them. That obviously is a fact, given that he did survive the Viltrumite Civil War. So if he's able to face off against all those different Viltrumites at the same time and be able to actually survive against all of them, being able to kill all of them, I don't think it's going to be much work or much of a struggle for him to kill these Mark variants, which are weaker than most pure-blooded Viltrumites, or weaker than our main Mark. Conquest is going to go into the battle, going to let them hit him a few times. They're not going to do any insane amounts of damage to him, but he is going to be able to just break their bones, impale them, or knock them out with a single strike. So yeah, I think Conquest, if he faced off against the last 8 remaining Mark variants, I think he would have been able to kill them all. Now, I know many people are going to have a lot of comments and thoughts about this. It's completely understandable if y'all do, but this video is primarily based only on what we've seen from the 8 Mark variants at this point in time, and from what we've seen from Conquest. Anyway, if you have those comments and thoughts, you can leave them down below. I'd love to see them. This is MC Info, and with another MC Clash, I'm out.